Strategic management accounting. All these years, you all have studied about cost accounting, management accounting, and now it is strategic management accounting. And you all may be doing an elective with respect to sustainability management accounting as well. So it is important to understand the distinctions between these things, cost accounting and management accounting, then cost and management accounting versus strategic management accounting, and then among cost and management accounting, strategic management accounting, and sustainability management accounting. And such things will be discussed today. To go through the overview, discuss the nature and scope of strategic management accounting. So by understanding what strategic management accounting is all about, for that, what you all have already studied is important to understand the distinctions. Then define what strategic management accounting is, and then discuss the strategic management process. In the strategic management process, that the strategy will be determined. So define what strategy is, and then discuss how strategic management accounting supports the strategic management process. The strategic management process you would have studied for strategic management course during your first semester. So therefore, you may be familiar with it. And therefore, here what is important is to understand, to actually recall what you all have already studied, to understand the distinctions between those and strategic management accounting. Nature and scope of strategic management accounting. Now, traditional management accounting techniques which came in during the 1920s focused on long run, large batch, long-term production. What is long run? There you consider that none of the factors of production would have any constraints, that all the factors of production could be obtained without any limitations. And therefore, you go on producing in bulk, where there are large batches, and you focus on long-term production. You don't consider that in the short term that there would be changes. So therefore, you continue to forecast for a long period of time regarding the demand, and you continue to produce. So all these techniques with respect to cost and management accounting that came into being by the 1920s support this long run, large batch, long-term production. Absorption costing, we want to absorb the overheads. Therefore, you focus on producing more. Standard costing and variance analysis, you produce more in order to gain favorable variances. Break-even analysis, in order to absorb your fixed overheads, you produce more and sell. From the selling price, you deduct the variable cost and the contribution you get to absorb your fixed overheads. So more you produce and sell, more it would be advantageous. Reorder levels and economic order quantity. There you order in bulk because you're going to get discounts, and then you are compelled to produce in bulk. Performance evaluation on financial measures like return on investments. I really understand this because I have first-hand experience. When I was working as an accounting professional in a garment manufacturing company, actually, they had to present to the bank to obtain a loan, performance measures like return on investment. And what they did was that, you know, from the sales revenue, you deduct the cost of production. Then, how do you arrive at the cost of production? Cost of manufacturing. And from that, to that, you add the cost of manufacturing during the year. To that, you add the cost of the opening stock. And you deduct the cost of the closing stock. That is how you get the cost of manufacturing. And then, if you have more closing stocks, then your cost of manufacturing could be brought down, that is the cost of sales, and that in turn would bring in a higher profit. So this company did not account for their stocks. But during that year, because they had to show a high return on investments, they had a high closing stock. They didn't have any opening stock. So they brought in the closing stock to their accounts. And then the cost of sales came down, and that in turn increased the profits. And that in turn, when compared with the investments in the company with the share capital, they showed a high return on investments. So you see, such cost and management accounting techniques promote bulk manufacturing, large quantities to be produced. Then traditional budgeting. What happens with traditional budgeting? You don't consider the inefficiencies. You have incremental budgeting. So you don't go zero base where you are all non-value adding activities and inefficiencies, all these things will be brought in to the budgeting process. And you continue to manufacture in that set way in large quantities, and then these techniques don't support what? It won't support short run, small batch, short lived products. Because you know the US wants to always dominate the world order. However, you know the Japanese in the 1980s, they brought in short run. That is, they started to manufacture short-lived products in small batches where there were constraints in the short run. And they were able to do it through techniques like just in time, total quality management, continuous improvement, Kaizen. But therefore, the US were not able to outsmart the Japanese. So in the 1980s, Robert Kaplan from the Harvard Business School stated that traditional management accounting techniques had lost its relevance as it was internally focused. Oh, produce more, produce more, produce more because you have machines, because you have those factors of production to produce, like the required skilled labor or some other um, resources that you have. So you don't consider, oh, in the external environment, what are the changing customer requirements? Are the customers' preferences changing? Should we give a choice to the customer? What are the things that the competitors are doing? Are the competitors outsmarting us? Such things are not considered. And therefore, um, Robert Kaplan said, oh, in the 1980s also, the US companies are focusing on these traditional management accounting techniques, which focused on large quantities of production. So, therefore, there should be some change, transformation brought in. And then at that time that this strategic management accounting came in, traditional management accounting, which is internally focused, uh, is becoming now the management accounting has to be externally focused as well. So it came as strategic management accounting with external focus, that is focusing on outside the business. That means they considered, oh, what are the customer, what would the customers demand for? And then what are the competitors doing there? How can we outsmart the competitors? Such things were considered. That means the external environmental changes were considered through strategic management accounting. Then different researchers came up defining what strategic management accounting is all about. Simmons, 1980, first coined the term strategic management accounting as management accounting data, including information about the competitors with the purpose to develop and monitor the strategy. So now the focus is becoming towards outsmarting the competitors because the competitors are trying to grab our customers. Therefore, it is important to outsmart the competitors. Then Bromwich said, oh, how are we going to outsmart competitors? Michael Bromwich is saying, oh, you can have product attributes through differentiation, or you can be a cost leader when compared with the competitors. Then Lord says in 1996, strategic management accounting considers the plans of competitors where the main objective is to place and keep the firm in a position of competitive advantage. That is, the firm is there, the competitors are there, and the firm is trying to outsmart competitors so that the firm is able to have a distinctive competitive advantage over its competitors, and therefore the customers will be the firm's customers and not the competitors' customers. Shank in 2007 said that strategic management accounting is the third stage of development. Cost accounting, management accounting, and then strategic management accounting. So, what is this? Cost accounting and management accounting is internal focus. I have read many research papers, especially case studies with respect to the UK context. Loft 1986 states that cost accounting came into being in the UK during and after the First World War when there was no market price for certain goods that were in demand. So when there was no market price, it is important to determine the cost incurred to manufacture, because the manufacturers can ask for any price. But if there is a reasonable ground to logically state that this is the cost incurred and this is the markup and this is the price we are charging, then the manufacturers cannot profiteer with, in an unreasonable way. But then thereafter, what happened? Especially in the US, the UK accounting professionals visited the US, and they saw, oh, manufacturing in the US is carried out. There is diversified production in big factories, and it is important to provide information to the management. Oh, these are the different kinds of products, these are the different costs, and these are the advantages of having these diversified products under one roof. Likewise, the management had to be provided internal information for decision making, to decide on what products to be produced, uh, what to be stopped, uh, discontinued being produced, what are the products that are giving high profits. Likewise, such information was important. So you know that with management accounting, you are being given such internally focused information. So cost accounting and management accounting would provide internally focused information. But strategic management accounting, as Shank says, the third stage, there, I said, the focus is not merely on the internal, but also on the external. Oh, we have these resources. We have these processes we are going to produce, but do our customers need these products? If not, what do they demand for? What are our competitors doing out there? Are they going to grab our customers? Such information is important. Such information is important about our market. And then internally, we can see whether our value chain is supporting it, and ensure that there are performance measures and controls to ensure that our value chain is going to provide what the market requires. Then that is the external focus in strategic management accounting. But you see that here the focus is on the profit. But there is the people and planet aspects as well. Based on the research that I carry out at present, I see that business organizations that focus on profit as well as the people and planet get more profits than other organizations that focus merely on profits. So, focusing on the people and planet, the profits can be increased. And from the profits, again, you should use, you should fund aspects relevant to the people and planet. In other words, you could say people, it's the social, planet, it is the environment. So therefore, it is important to focus on the sustainability aspect as well. And then we are focusing in this course not only on strategic management accounting, which is focusing on the profit aspect only, but we are focusing on strategic management accounting with a sustainability focus. Then we have been discussing about uh, what strategic management accounting is all about. And now we are trying to understand what the strategic management process means. Because next we have to understand how strategic management accounting can support the strategic management process. Strategic management process, as you know, any business organization, even the Department of Accounting has a vision, mission, and objectives. And in order to attain your objectives, which are milestones in attaining your vision and mission, it is important to always consider your existing position. A position audit, a corporate appraisal has to be done. Then it is important to consider, in our internal environment, what is happening inside the business organization. Are there any weaknesses? Are there any strengths? What are core competencies? Likewise, it is important to consider all internal environmental aspects. In other words, we can consider, what is our value chain? Can our value chain deliver what is required from the external environment? Because the external environment is evaluated, because there could be opportunities and threats due to the competitors' operations. And also there would be political, economic, social. In these spheres, there may be various events occurring. So therefore, it is important to consider how those events have an impact, in an effect on our business and what issues it is causing. So it is actually in the internal environment we are considering about the cost, quality, um, and also whether we are able to resist any turbulence. Such things may be considered. But in the external environment, there are other things happening which are not under our control. So, such things like the events happening in the political, economic, social spheres, and also how the competitors in the market are reacting. Likewise, such an evaluation has to be done. But in depth, you have studied uh, how to do an internal environmental appraisal, external environmental appraisal, when you do a corporate appraisal, in order to formulate your strategies, implement your strategies, monitor and evaluate your strategy in order to get a feedback whether the objectives have been attained or not. So therefore, it is necessary to formulate strategies where there would be option generation and strategic choice, and then you implement the strategy, monitor and evaluate, and feedback. So in this particular process, there will be the strategy that is determined. The strategic management process is always done in order to determine the strategy. What is strategy? Here, according to the Oxford Dictionary, it is said strategy is about planning and directing of military activity in a war or battle. Now, in a business, Does the business go for a war? No. The business has to go into the marketplace. That is where the war or battle happens with the competitors, because everybody is trying to fulfill the customer demands. So you have to outsmart. So, what is the course of action to be followed in order to outsmart the competitors, in order to fulfill the customer demands? That is important to be considered. That is where the strategy is determined. And in that particular process, what makes a superior organization? What makes an organization superior would be right decision making. Decision making requires information for strategy formulation, strategy implementation, and strategy monitoring and evaluation, thereby fulfilling customer needs and outsmarting competitors. The business organization generates a return only and only if it fulfills customer needs by outsmarting the competitors. Therefore, what is important is not the strategy, but determining an appropriate strategy, and therefore, it is decision making is what is important. If you make the right decision about the right strategy to be selected, then you are in an advantageous position compared to the competitors. So, therefore, for the right decisions to be made, it is important to provide information. Then, who provides the information? It is you who would provide the information. That means the accounting professionals who are educated and trained from the professional accounting bodies, who are also some academic accounting professionals where they have a university degree as well. So, strategic management accounting in support of the strategic management process. Strategic management accounting in support of the strategic management process. Now, I told you, you now have an understanding about what strategic management accounting is all about. It is, we are trying, the business organization is trying to determine a particular strategy in order to outsmart the competitors to fulfill the customer demand. And in that particular process, information is provided. And in the strategic management process, uh, when the strategies are determined, strategic management accounting will provide information. But I told you that in this course, the focus is not only on strategic management accounting in support of the strategic management process, but strategic management accounting with a focus on sustainability, supporting the strategic management process. So, in that particular process, strategizing the market. What do you mean by strategizing the market? Course of action to be taken with respect to the market, providing information to the management on market trends, customer preferences, and competitive dynamics, which will be crucial for making informed decisions about product development, pricing strategies, and market expansion. And you know that uh, so many techniques could be used by the accounting professionals in this particular process, but Information needs to be provided. Here you see providing information to the management. And you see it is course of action to be followed in order to fulfill your customer demands, outsmarting the competitors in the marketplace. So techniques are required by the accounting professionals in order to evaluate what sort of information to be provided. And you have already studied such techniques. And then strategizing the value chain. Strategizing the value chain, course of action to be taken with respect to the value chain. Again, course of action to be followed with respect to the value chain. Offering insights to the management, that is again providing information to the management with respect to the value chain to achieve quality, cost, and flexibility in the production process. That is how you could provide short lived, uh, small size product, a small batch size within the short term. Then strategizing the organizational hierarchy. Again, the course of action, that is the strategy, to decide upon the strategy to be taken to have connections between the market and value. And now you see that the hierarchy is there in order to ensure that there is a link between the market and the value chain. Then strategizing. So here it's providing information to the management on controls and performance management to maintain connections between the market and the value chain. Then strategizing the social and environmental aspect. Course of action to be taken to have a sustainability focus. Tracking and reporting to the management. Again, reporting to the management in order to take the course of action with respect to the sustainability aspects. On the sustainability initiatives taken, whether it is a success or not, and measuring the impact of the operations on the environment to ensure with compliance with social and environmental regulations. Now you see that in this course, we are discussing about strategic management accounting with a sustainability focus in support of the strategic management process. In strategic management process, the management will decide upon a strategy that is a course of action to be followed in order to, with respect to fulfill customer demands, outsmarting the competitors in the market, and with respect to ensuring that the value chain within the organization would cater to the customer demand, then in order to have controls and performance measures to ensure the link is always there between the market and the value chain, and all these factors which focus on the profit, we know that, but it is not only the profit, but the people and planet aspects are also very important to be considered. And considering that aspect would be the sustainability focus. So for that also, you need to take courses of action. And for that, information is required to be provided by the accounting professionals. Now, we have to see, this is, I have been speaking now for half an hour. Now I shall go to this other slide where we speak about continuous assessments. Um, it is, you see that in the assessments, in your course outline, you will see in the assessments, there would be the final examination, which is 60 marks. And for the continuous assessments, there would be 40 marks. That also again I segregated as continuous assessment 1, 10%, and continuous assessment 2, 30%. Again, I ensured that the continuous assessments will be done by 10-member groups because the weak students can be supported by the students who are competent, and I hope all the competent people will not form one particular group without supporting the others. And also I hope that there will be no free riders, that everybody would get together and work together so that you all will be able to score a high mark. I don't want to fail anyone, but because I'm kind and nice to you, don't think that though you send me an email saying, to get this class, I need this number of marks. So therefore, can you increase my marks? I got so many emails last time. So please don't think that I will cater to such emails. So you have to work hard. And if you perform well, I will certainly give you marks. And it is not easy to have so many assessments. It is a lot of work from our side also, but we are trying to do that because you all will get the opportunity to pass this so that you can go in for your graduation during the course of this year. And then the continuous assessment 1. The students are expected to form 10-member groups before the commencement of the week 2 lecture, that is next week. The group leader should inform the course coordinator. I have given you my email address via email. The following information of the 10-member group: CPM number, name, email address, telephone number, and the name of the group leader. So all the members, this data are required. You know, the non-academic staff members are on strike. Therefore, I don't have assistance from anyone. So therefore, send me as an attachment, all this information. Prepare a table and include this information and send me. Okay. And then each group will be assigned a particular domain with respect to strategic management accounting by the course coordinator. I spoke to you about 4 domains, 3 with respect to profit, 1 with respect to the people and planet aspect. And then from these 4 domains, that is market, strategizing the market, strategizing the value chain, strategizing the organizational hierarchy, that is segregated as controls and performance measurement, and then strategizing the social and environmental aspects. Strategizing the market, I would be conducting the lectures. Strategizing the value chain, that also I would be doing. Strategizing the hierarchy with respect to the controls, Professor Dalipa Samudrage will be doing it. And with respect to performance measurement, Dr. Chaturika Senaratna would be doing it. And with respect to strategizing social and environmental aspects, Dr. Nuan Gunaratna would be doing it. So that is how the lectures would be conducted. And in this group assignment, now when you all form groups for continuous assessment 1, the same group should remain for continuous assessment 2 as well. And each group will be assigned a particular domain with respect to strategic management accounting by the course coordinator, that is myself, namely strategizing the market, strategizing the value chain, strategizing the organizational hierarchy, and strategizing the social and environmental aspects. Each 10-member group is required to find a case study based research article related to the assigned domain from a high star ranking journal of a recent year. Now, you see that when you are assigned a domain, we'll say it is about strategizing the market. It is then there would be about considering the uh, in a competitive market, how the customer demands were fulfilled uh, through target pricing, or likewise, there would be certain issues. But here you're being told to select a case study with respect to a company. It is a case study. It's not a quantitative study, it's a qualitative study, a case study. And you know that uh, I have stated here a high star ranking journal. I hope by now, for research methodology, you have heard about high star ranking accounting journals. For example, Accounting Organization Society, Critical Perspectives on Accounting, Management Accounting Research, Accounting Auditing Accountability Journal, um, Accounting Education. All these are high star ranking journals. And from this link, you can find out the ABDC journal high quality list. Then you will see A star, A, B. Up to that, it's okay, but not C, D, not those journals. But A star, A, B would be okay. From this link, you can find the high star ranking journals. But you know that to find a research article, you need to go to the research databases. You have access only to Emerald, but I have access to Science Direct and other such databases. So if you find a research article and if you can't download it, please contact me. I shall get it for you. Okay? But you have to start working on it from today onwards. Let today be the first day of the rest of your life. So start working on it today onwards so that easily you can download or get my assistance to download. And however, no two groups should select the same research article. To avoid duplication, a Google Sheet should be opened by one student of the batch, and the group leaders can enter the reference of the research article selected to the Google Sheet. So when you're sending me the information of the group, you must send me the research article referenced accordingly. You know how to reference the research articles. You know the author names, the year, the title of the article, then the name of the journal, then the page numbers. All these things should be stated accordingly. So please send me not only the group information, but also the reference of the journal article. And please ensure that you enter it to the Google Sheet so that the other group leaders will see whether that research article is selected or not. Because maximum we will get uh, 20 research articles, because 4 domains, if there are 200 students, there will be 20, um, uh, 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 20 groups, maximum 20 groups. So therefore, from one domain, there will be around 5 research articles. So therefore, there is a 20% chance of another group selecting the same research article. So therefore, please be please coordinate with me, and also please cooperate with me, because I'm doing this task all alone, because you know that the non-academic staff is not there to support us. Actually, I went to a communication center and paid thousands and got your reading materials um, scanned to upload it to the LMS. So I'm doing it all alone. So therefore, please be supportive. So during the week 3 lecture, the group leader or any other group member should present the research problem, research methods used, that is the methods of data collection, and about how it is analyzed using a particular theory. In a case study, a theory is used, and the findings of the research article based on that theory. And here I have incorporated another point. I forgot to bring it here. In your course outline, I brought it at the last moment, how it relates to the Sri Lankan context, the findings, how it relates to the Sri Lankan context. So the PPT is not required, but for just for 5 minutes, you must present it, but it will be recorded and it will be uploaded so that you all can listen to it. Then research articles selected should be emailed to the course coordinator 2 days before the week 3 lecture. So if you state the reference, it's okay. But anyway, that is with the group information. But the research articles, that means there would be altogether 20 articles that I should receive 2 days before the week 3 lecture where you would be presenting it. Marks will be awarded as follows. Selecting a relevant research article, 2 marks. Presenting the research problem, 2 marks. Presenting the method of data collection and theory use, 2 marks, because in a case study, theory is used as a way of seeing and thinking about the world. And therefore, based on that theory, the findings, 2 marks. Linking the relevance of the findings to the Sri Lankan context, 2 marks. So this is how marks will be awarded. I think I spoke to you for 1 hour. I shall stop the recording now so that any questions that you'll have, you could ask now, or you're free to always call or email me. And I would be quite supportive if you are doing your bit of work. Thank you very much.